Hi everybody, we're here today with David and we've come for our attunement session. So David's going to share a little bit about what attunement therapy is with us.
Great, yeah, so attunement therapy, it's all about human connection really. It's about restoring the missing link between humans and other humans. I think we live in a world at the moment where touch, non-sexual touch it's been a bit radicalised, and it's seen as a taboo to touch each other. And attunement's all about restoring that, de-radicalising that, and seeing attunement or human touch as a pathway into, or common sense pathway really, into healing. When you're in your attunement session, you will pretty much enter into your parasympathetic nervous system, so your rest and digest, which from that comes great healing, because that's the part of your nervous system that actually works on the healing. So digestion, immunity, sexual function, and overall well-being really. When you're laying on the chest of the practitioner, listening to the heartbeat, that's where you go. You go into a deep sense of rest, and you're able to give yourself body space to actually work on healing that it needs to. Reclining by the side of the practitioner with the head rested on the chest to listen to the heartbeat, and that goes for about 90 minutes, and that gives the body a really decent chance to reset basically. So attunement, we all receive attunement from our parents when we're children. Most of us do anyway. When you're born, when you're a baby and you're crying, if you cry, your mum picks you up and holds you to her chest. That's attunement, and the baby comes back to being calm and relaxed through listening to the mother's heartbeat and breathing. And as we probably know, a lot of that's missing in our world today. A lot of kids don't get that from their parents. And even those that do may end up suffering trauma later on in life, which can then lead them to not have that human connection. So this is all about restoring that basically. Half the group of babies were given 30 minutes a day of nourishment from an adult, so playful with toys and that kind of stuff, and the other half were just left to their own devices basically. And the group that received the interaction, they observed that their growth was more accelerated. The circumference of their head was larger. Their behavioural skills were more well behaved. So that's a really good case for attunement, really. A child doesn't necessarily recognise itself as an individual for the first 9 months of life. So you can imagine there's a lot of people out there that believe in controlled crying and leaving a child to cry to help it develop its independence, but at that age it's not doing the child any good.
I never thought it would be. I never
didn't
liked
like
that.
Yeah, and that's the reason. So a child, if at that age it's left to cry, it will automatically start to shut off, because it has to go into survival mode in terms of I need to look after me so that I can survive. So a child not receiving that attunement ends up, that they'll move into this insular kind of defense mode really, so that they can fight for their own survival, and so you can imagine as that child grows, those kind of habits become part of their natural life, and they become almost disconnected from the world. So attunement's all about helping people find that again, and there are a lot of people out there that don't have the opportunity to connect with other humans on a physical level in that non-sexual way, even people in relationships sometimes are lacking this, because a lot of us are in this routine relationship where we just go through the motions. We watch TV together, we go to bed together during the week, and we cook meals and all that, and then at the weekend we might go out and have a party and then sleep together on the Saturday night, and that's just a bit of a routine that some of us are in, and that we don't really bring that human connection to our relationship. So And so this modality is beautiful for anybody. You know, it's there's no one out there that's immune from potentially losing out on human connection. So there's potential for anyone to gain from this.
Yeah.
And even those of us that do have healthy human connection relationships, you know, that taking that time just to really relax and empty your parasympathetic nervous system, you know, it's healing for everybody. So.
Yeah. David holds such a beautiful space and gives you time and a space to be able to heal yourself. And that's what we need sometimes. We need a safe space where it gives us room to grow, to move forward, to expand our knowledge, giving us time to experiment as well.
I find some clients are able to revisit parts of their timeline, you know, their past, and sometimes they may revisit some traumatic experience that's happened in their past, but they're able to look at that in a new light and able to let things go from that, you know, so that they can actually move past it, and it no longer bears down on them in their lives.
Yeah. We've always loved like lying on someone's chest, because Dad, when we were little, he used to hum with like our head on his chest, and just like the vibrations of him humming or singing, and it's just so relaxing.
So as part of attunement, generally we offer clients a song if they wish. So towards the last third of the session, I usually sing, and for that very reason, to give that resonance through the chest. It just adds that deeper level of relaxation. So
So we finished our attunement therapy sessions with David, and feeling really relaxed and amazing. We wanted to continue this feeling, so we came to this gorgeous place.
It's so beautiful here.
It is got some chai lattes, and we're just going to spend the rest of the afternoon in nature, relaxing.
Cheers to the attunement.
Cheers. Cheers to David.
What a beautiful doggy. She's huge. That was not as yummy as I thought it would be. Do you want to try it?
No.
Do you want to try it?
Yeah, I want to try it.
I thought it would be really beautiful to send off a wish into the pond.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Do you not eat your frying pan? I do,
How do
so
you do
it
that?
doesn't.
Oh, with the spoon. I was like, do you like? I just felt like I wanted to express myself on paper by journaling about my session. Talking to David was so calming and nourishing to my soul. He reminded me of the light and the way I normally see life for the positive, always good to have a reminder. He gave me a tool so simple yet very powerful. It's like you are climbing a big mountain. When you look down and back, you will see how far you have come. When you look up and forward, you will see how far you have to go, how much room you have for growth and new experiences. Eye gazing was magical. At one point, he looked really sad. I knew it was just his face morphing. It was a good lesson because although I would have loved to ask if he was okay, it reminded me to look after myself and to not always let others' energies in. I feel I released that in my session for sure. Something I have been slowly improving at for a while, but I feel in today's session it just lifted off into space. During eye gazing, I felt like I was looking into the soul of every living being on this planet. The lesson being, we are all here, we are all the same with unique touches. So just be yourself and know that although the ones I am attracting may seem more enlightened, we are still all the same. We are still all human. The right ones for me will accept and adore the true me for how I am at this exact moment in this chapter of my journey. I feel like I certainly release the need to give my energy and time to those who are the leaves, the ones who were meant to come along for that time but aren't meant to stay. They aren't the roots. That's a huge release. I feel fresh, like water from a waterfall. I can even smell it. Things just smell different. Wow. I felt very safe and calm with David. He held the space well. Lying down with my head on his heart gave me a sense of peace and surrender. I surrendered all of my thoughts of how the session would be and surrendered to all my outcomes and just let it be. And I feel that's how I got the most out of it. I went into a theta state and knew I was dreaming, but when I woke, I couldn't remember the dream. All I knew is that it was positive and that I released some major things. I also knew that these things I released would reveal themselves in the coming days and weeks. Am I rhyming in this?
I don't know, but it's flowing really beautifully.
I know. And look at my writing. Like normally I write really neat, but I was just like trying to get it all out.
Yeah.
How remarkable it was to feel this. During the lying down part, I almost stopped feeling the touch of David. I had this feeling of the universe holding me. Even though David was physically holding me, it drifted into more of a spiritual hold from the universe and even from myself. I think this helped me to release the thought of needing someone, needing a partner, needing a man to hold me. It just released, and even though I already felt this way, that I don't need anyone to make me feel whole, it wasn't completely released. In today's session, it completely cleared up for me and I released that need for a man. I have myself and I make myself whole. Myself and the universe is the greatest partnership of all. I feel light, open, clear. They would be the best words to describe my state right now after my session. I feel whole, whole within myself, whole within my mind, whole within my body, physically, spiritually, mentally, light, open, and clear. Almost like the water from the ocean has given my insides, crown to root, my aura to a complete flush and detox. Although I didn't have any of these words while David was with me, that was okay. He assured me they would come. All I needed was to sit within my own space and feel within, and click, the light turned on. And all these thoughts really did start flowing through me with complete ease and truth. As I write all of this down, I feel myself releasing even more. I truly am grateful and amazed by these results from my attunement session with David. I feel I got out of my session what I seeked to and a whole lot more. I do actually feel complete, whole and at peace with myself in this very moment. Although I know I have so far to go, I have this new feeling over me to let go and flow even more than I already was. I feel by me letting go of the thought that I need to unleash even more to get to my true self and express it more, I feel that me letting go of that has made me unleash even more. Wow, mind blown. Letting go is powerful. So powerful beyond your imagination. I'm going to sit outside and watch the sun go down and rest now, then flow into the night with no expectations, just flow with whatever my body and mind feels at that moment. Thank you, David. You're an angel.
Sometimes with new things or trying new things, it can bring you feelings of like worry and maybe a bit of anxiety. But yeah, where we were at David's house was just so peaceful, and I didn't really feel that. And then going into it and eye gazing with him, yeah, his face didn't really morph for me. It was more like there was like a grey, like over my lenses of my eyes, there was like a grey new lens. Does that make sense? So it kind of was like a blurry grey lens that like would come across, and he looked slightly different, but then I'd blink and it would be normal again. But yeah, like eye gazing with someone I haven't done a lot of, but it's really connecting with their soul and like seeing them for what they truly are, or who they truly are. Yeah, it's really incredible doing that. I'm still really lost for words, and that's why I didn't journal. I decided to just paint. So this is my first one that I did. It really reminds me like of the galaxy, I feel like this is what the galaxy would look like. And maybe it's showing me that to let go and that there's a bigger picture out there, or like a bigger you know, there's more to this life. And I thought you were pulling something on my head. Yeah, like there's more to this life, and maybe our next life will be in a galaxy like this. So yeah, I always gravitate towards greens and blues, so I thought I would try to use some different colours. It kind of started resembling a shape of a flower without it being a flower. So I guess this one is kind of showing me that I am blooming. And then my last one, I went back to blues and greens. So I did start with greens and yellows, but then I came back to having blue in it as well. It just reminds me of the ocean, and I just really love it. Feeling really enlightened and clear. I felt very safe, and yeah, I'd definitely do it again. It's all about that connecting, you know, and you should feel comfortable being able to cuddle with your friends and your family and show the people that you love them through affection. I drifted quite deeply into theta state, and yeah, after that my whole body shook, and David just said to me calmly, like, you're safe, it's okay, I'm here with you. And it was like my body was like jolting, because it was just releasing all these negative things, all these negative feelings and things that I've held on to without really realising that I've held on to them. And after that, like, my whole body was so heavy, and from my hips down my legs had kind of gone numb because I was just in such a deep relaxation mode. Yeah, it was very powerful, very powerful.
So definitely would recommend having an attunement therapy session. I think it's gonna
Change the world.
oh yeah
Yeah. So thank you so much, David. We're so blessed to have you in our lives, and we have loved every moment that we've gotten to spend with you so far.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Thank you.